The breath work has evolved for me. To me, the breath is our inspiration. Afterwards, you're going to feel very altered. There's stages in that development. I'm just going in to support the energies that this client is needing.
Are you ready to explore the unseen? From the depths of the soul to the vastness of the cosmos, we're diving into the extraordinary. Mediumship, astrology, spirituality, the paranormal, and more. Welcome to your bridge to the other side. Now join us as we unravel the mysteries of the universe, one question at a time, with your host, Kat Walker.
Hi, it's Kat Walker. Welcome to your bridge to the other side. And we are continuing this episode with James Gilliland, who is my personal healer. He did such a great job of explaining the various modalities that he works with regarding alternative healing, energy work, etc. That there's so much more to discuss that we wanted to have him back again. If you missed the last episode, go back and see it when we're done here, because there's a wealth of information in there that you're really going to want to know about. As I mentioned previously, he has been my personal healer, and I can attest to almost life-changing work that he has done on me. I'm actually 93 years old. Oh, no, just kidding. But he has done some really, truly life-changing work on me. So, James, when we were talking last time, I think we were winding down on cranial sacral work. Is there anything that's important that you think we may have left out of that?
Well, we were talking about going into altered state, and then within the inner shaman, within the inner physician, and allowing that work to do what your body needs. During a craniosacral session, after you've done the still point that gets a person into that altered state, then you do diaphragm releases. And in the diaphragm releases, we have like 4 or 5 different diaphragms, and they're kind of connected with the chakras in a way. But we go through each one of the diaphragms and see if there's anything within the body that needs to release. And that's where I also introduce some shaman work to clear out any negative vibrations, any traumas, and a lot of mental stuff is usually in the way. If we don't clear out all the systems, then it's tough to get to the cerebral fluid and the adjustment of the cranial bones, the spinal cord, and the tailbone, the sacrum. So it's all kind of one unit. And afterwards, you're going to feel very altered, because after a craniosacral session, after adjusting all the sutures, the skull bones and their joints, the spinal cord and the tailbone, sacrum, we're getting more blood flow to the head. And when there's more blood flow to the head, then you're going to feel lightheaded. So we have them set up on the table first and get oriented, and then slowly get them to stand up and get their balance and ground into the earth. And then talk to them a little bit to make sure that they're coherent, and then they're ready to go.
Most people who have seen you, who have described to me that after you're done working on them, they feel a little bit of euphoria, almost a little high. Is that normal?
Yes.
So it's worth it just for the high, right? I'm teasing, but
That's the
Seriously,
altered state. Yes, that's the altered state. You're still trying to go between worlds, the spirit world or the inner physician, the inner shaman world, and the physical world. There's a bridge there when you're coming out of a session that, yes, that is quite common. And everybody's going to have a different experience. Some see colors, some visit with their past relatives. That I've seen a lot on the table. So yeah, there's various things but yeah, you'll be altered and euphoric usually coming off the table.
I know that a couple of people said they had to be a little bit on the careful side driving home.
Yes.
So they were reoriented.
Yes.
So, well, let's move on a little bit. Something that I don't understand very well, and I know there are different types, but you also do a lot of work. You use a lot of breath work when you're working on people. Can you kind of explain that a little bit?
Yeah, the breath work has evolved for me over the last, I would say, 5 to 7 years. It's become more integral in the work that I do. To me, the breath is our inspiration. I feel spirit breathing into me like I'm getting CPR. And then when I'm breathing out frequencies and energies for the client to take in their altered state. And also I'm breathing away a lot of negative or lower frequency energies off of the body. It's part of the shaman part that does extractions and things of that way. But the breath is very important to me because that's my inspiration. It's the inspiration of spirit moving through me and into the other body. And with that sometimes comes tones, chants, various noises.
Okay. Another area that you work on, and I know I have felt such positive energy around is the vibrational work you have done with bowls. And I understand you use some drumming as well. Can you explain a little bit about that portion of the practice?
I'm just guided to use different tools. And as I say, my shamanic training, I sometimes use stones, sometimes I use drums, sometimes I use rattles, and sometimes I use my crystal bowls. Mm-hmm. And all of them have a specific vibration or frequency that the client's bodies are calling for in order to clear something out or to allow a stronger frequency inside them. So it's quite fascinating because, there's been times I haven't used any of the tools. It's just been hands-on, the breath, and sometimes I do almost like physical therapy work to release different energies out of different joints or muscles or nerves. So it's quite fascinating.
That's interesting. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm usually, I'm not doing it. I'm supporting the movement of the client. Their body's wanting to move that way. And so I just support it in moving it. And it's usually super slow. In the cranial sacral therapy class I did at Upledger Institute, I learned so much as far as when I approach a client, it's what does this client need? It's not, what do I need to do to heal this person? Yeah, I'm not going in with an intention to heal. I'm just going in to support the energies that this client is needing at this time. Like jumper cables, I provide a frequency for them to use for their own internal healing.
I know every time I have seen you, my treatment has been different.
Yes.
And certainly my needs have been different. And as a therapist, as well as, I think a lot of people know I've also been a yoga instructor. I know that we store memories and traumas in our body. And I have felt, as you have worked on me, even though I have done a lot of personal work on the traumas in my life, and have done a lot of yoga to release trauma in my life, that I could very much feel the trauma lifting from my body and my spirit and easing my mind. So you've got the mind, body, spirit connection, but it kind of like has brought all the work I did previously together to release it and make me more whole. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's to completion. You've had various experiences with all these different modalities, and then all of a sudden you're bringing them all together and being able to complete them. And you can only do that if you're feeling safe. And so as a facilitator, my job is to create safety in the environment and for the client. So that if they're not feeling safe, they're not going to heal. They're not going to use those energies to get themselves to homeostasis, to their authentic self. And that's the goal of the work that I do. Not necessarily for everyone. There's stages in that development, in that evolution.
Is it kind of that when the person is ready, then they show up for that particular portion of their healing. And then as they've healed more, then they show up for the other portion of their healing. Am I getting that kind of right?
There are stages, there's layers within ourselves, and there's layers within our energetic bodies.
Okay.
There's layers within the traumas that we've had. And we will work on them in the client's time frame that feels safe for them, that's on their soul path. And there's sometimes, everybody that comes to me might not resonate well, that I at least planted the seed for someone else to harvest. And if someone does not receive any kind of release or feel some kind of change within themselves, I will usually give back the money, because I know it wasn't, if it didn't take, then I'm not going to have them wasting money. But then I won't see them again. And if they come back, then something had changed and they're ready for it.
Yeah.
And then we'll go ahead and charge again.
Well, I definitely believe Spirit guides us when we're on this path where we need to be along the way. So I know that anybody who winds up on your table is guided there to be there for that portion of their healing right then.
Definitely.
So,
and I trust it.
Thank you, James. This has been so fascinating. And we have so much more, I think, that we need to discuss. There's so much more I want to know. And I know there's so much more that the viewers want to know. So I'd like for you to come back for another episode. And we can get into more about shamanism, how you got into shamanism, and some of the tools that you use during that part of your practice. So stay tuned, everybody. Next week, we're going to go on with James. If you could sense, and I'm not James. And we will see you next week.
We hope you found this episode of Your Bridge to the Other Side enlightening and insightful. Kat Walker appreciates you spending time with her, and as a token of her appreciation, she is offering a unique opportunity to 10 of the first 50 subscribers, a free 15-minute reading with Kat Walker. To enter, you must subscribe to our podcast. Next, email the date you subscribed, your full name, phone number, city and state, and your question. Send that to yourbridgetotheotherside@gmail.com. Again, that email address is yourbridgetotheotherside@gmail.com. This offer is limited to the first 50 subscribers and is only available to residents of the United States. You must be at least 18 years of age to enter. Don't miss out. Winners will be selected randomly and notified via email. To learn more about Kat Walker and her mediumship services, visit her website at katwalkermedium.com. Join us next time as we delve deeper into the fascinating world of mediumship, astrology, psychic abilities, spirituality, numerology, and more on Your Bridge to the Other Side.